Live, the 4:10 hour here in rainy Providence. We've got overcast coupled with overcast and cold. Busy day here. We had a live concert over in the Alex and Ani Lounge. Then Kate Nagel was up at the State House with top people from the governor's office, Secretary of State Nellie Gorbea and others. And now we're back here. Just a point of introduction to Ray Rickman, our video editorialist who comes in every Thursday afternoon. Today, GoLocal had a story about the decline of the number of news people across the market and looking at who's going to be covering this upcoming election in 2018. Take a look at the list. It covers everybody from who at the Providence Journal, GoLocal, Channel 10, Channel 12, Public Radio, etc. And I think the most alarming thing in it is that the number of people now covering all the campaigns, local, state, federal, is really less than probably the number of people who are going to run for governor. So there's going to be a lot of burden on the news organizations to dig into campaign finance reports and check out those white papers and a little truth test on some of these claims. I want to introduce Ray Rickman, civil rights leader, and really one of the people who really speaks out and says what's what when other people won't. Ray Rickman.
Afternoon, world. I was at Starbucks this morning. I go there regularly. I have good tea. And two black folks came in and said, "What are you doing here? You shouldn't be at Starbucks today, probably any day in the future." And I looked at them and I said, "Aren't both of you black? What are you doing here? You know, this is Starbucks. I did something horrible the other day." And you would think all of a sudden the black folks and the white liberals and the civil rights advocates, all of us would go away. And Starbucks is very worried about that. The president of Starbucks is all over the news all day long for the last 2 days saying, "We're not like that. We're not racist." And they're going to close the store at afternoon in May, and they're going to do some training. I've thought about this deeply. You know, what makes this Starbucks incident an incident is the little video camera going, probably telephone, and it's recording the whole thing. It's recording the employees telling two black people to get out of a store. White folks don't have to get out of the store when they're sitting there waiting. The place isn't full. There's no reason for them to do it. And then they go to the next step. They call the police. They call the police. And the police come, and the whole tape's 8 minutes long because the police are trying to figure out on what basis can they arrest these two black guys. There's nothing clear and dangerous, nothing bad, nothing irregular. But they're having this discussion with them about, "You've got to get out of here and we probably need to arrest you." And then finally they arrest them. What do they arrest them for? Trespassing. They dream it up. 5 or 6 officers end up there. 2 people sitting, minding their own business, and 5 police officers have to come and figure out what to arrest them for. This is normal in America. Black people get arrested all the time for little or nothing. This is nothing. This is subliminal racism, and probably racism on the part of the cops because they wouldn't have arrested other folks for this. But it's also stupidity. Now, a lot of people will say this is just an incident, it's just life, feel a little sorry for the 2 black people. Well, guess what? Most black men live their lives like this. Innocent as pie, semi-guilty, guilty, in trouble. A great deal more trouble than most white people get in for the same thing. And as a rule, white people don't get in trouble when they're innocent. Innocent. And I want to share with you what happens is you have to worry about the next level. What happens when you give cops lip or don't do what they say? Do you get accused of resisting arrest? Do you get accused of, or can it really go wrong and something really bad happens when in fact nothing should have happened in the beginning? Nothing. This is racism. It's a perfect example. Now, let me say 2 things, and I'm getting more radical as I grow older. I really am. I'm surprised at myself. I'm still a pacifist. I'm still anti-violent. I'm still, follow the law. But I'm beginning to think we're going to do all this training. Everybody's going to have 2 or 3 hours of training to deal with the 30 years or 40 years of them creating bad attitudes about black people. They're going to get 90 minutes to correct it all. Okay, I'm exaggerating. They're going to get 3 hours to correct all of their thinking, their fear of black people. They're thinking black people shouldn't be able to lounge in a restaurant even when they say they're waiting for somebody. And we've got to fix that. I'm beginning to think that first we should have diversity training all of the time, annually, once a year. The feds do it, particularly for federal guards and police and security and federal police, because the feds about 20 years ago figured this out. It's not something you fix in 90 minutes. Secondly, this is the radical part. We should talk to people before we hire them and figure out who they are. And they certainly don't belong on police force if they've got bad racial or gender views. They don't belong. So we should quit hiring bad people with the idea that we're going to fix them. You're probably not going to fix them. At best, you're going to get them not to do bad things, which is probably good enough. It's time for a change. I'm tired of all of these racial incidents. Tired. And some of them, as you know, are deadly.
Thanks so much to Ray Rickman for joining us this afternoon and giving his opinion. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Come back tomorrow, 3 o'clock. We'll be back in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. I'm Josh Fenton. Enjoy the night, and hopefully tomorrow's a sunny day. Thanks very much.